If you love Rocket League, you are in the right place. This is the Gfinity Elite Series Season 2, and our second match of the day was Envy taking on Infuse. Envy had only managed to get 1 win, and Infuse had got no wins. But I tell you what, that continues. They are now 5 without a win, but Envy get their second win, and this is how it ended. It finished 3-2 to Envy against Team Infuse. Next matchup will be Epsilon versus Reason, and as the standings now show, there you go, Team Envy move up to 6 points, just outside the playoff places, but all to play for. They will be happy with that progression of getting a win. And Infuse, I do apologise, get their first point. Now, I'm currently in the casting area over here. Welcome, thank you for coming back after the break. Welcome, welcome. Now, I'm here with Shogun because I want to talk about this because it's a new thing we do in the Elite Series. We sort of break down some plays. What have you noticed with the Reason team?
Well, Reason, we saw them last season just not quite being up to scratch when it came to, well, defensive plays, offensive plays, but mostly defense was quite weak. So this week, I want to talk to you guys about not only their defense, but their transitions out of defense.
Ooh.
There's one thing to be good at defending, there's another thing to not have to defend and get away from there as quickly as possible. Now, the main thing we're going to see from a lot of these plays is as this gets pushed into their half, they don't allow it to stay there for that long. There's a lot of these half rotations going on where they are going to continuously challenge on the midfield rather than forcing themselves to regress backwards. Now, the main reason why they get to do that is because they are controlling the mid boosts, can turn themselves around, get back up for the ball. As you can see now, it's on their side, but because they've spent so much time forcing the other team into their half, there's no opportunity to move forward and go and challenge them. So you get, again, another midfield challenge. Now, because of that, we're going to pause right here. You've seen the player right in the middle there. He's
Which one? Just this red one?
The one
Come over there, touch your
just
screen. Come on, Shogun.
Hello, this
I just
one
want
right
everybody
here.
to know.
Awesome. So this one right here, because they've had to scramble all of a sudden to try and move themselves to get forward, he's actually not in position to really take it. He's now taking a shot because he can take a shot rather than getting the one he wanted to get, because what he wants to do here is control it, bring it towards the net. Instead, what he's had to do is hit it into the corner, at which point we're now going to play. And you're just going to see Reason, they can do pretty much whatever they want. They're even going to pick themselves up some boost. It's a pretty poor touch that happens here. But as you can see, the next player is going to come in, get the save. Now, this next bit is absolutely huge for them because they've got one player now who's had to scramble back. That was the Batmobile player who had to try and use 100 boosts to get back there. But this one player, he's dribbled it up the wall, he's taken his time, and now he can come back into the play. It's about giving your team time to get back in. Now, pause right here for me. Another midfield challenge. We've seen the other team, they finally had their opportunity. They feel so good about themselves right now that they've got to be in the other half. And instead, once again, they're controlling the midfield boosts, turning around, getting those challenges. And because the other team has now had their chance to move forward a little bit, they've mispositioned very slightly. That challenge in the middle also allows the 2 players on Reason who have moved forward to get back into position and get themselves ready for the follow-up, which we are going to see right here. You see, he's now had the opportunity to move back into the offense. More and more challenges come in, and eventually you are going to wear a team right down. Now, that challenge was even bigger. Still more and more challenges in the middle, and eventually, there's the boom.
Wow, I mean, I hope everyone was following wherever you were, because I think that was a beautiful way of breaking it down. So understanding how they defend by just being constantly on the attack there. That's the best way to defend. Shogun, you the man. Listen, I'll tell you what, I'm going to head back this way. I'm going to leave you there on your own. Call if you need anything. Get your cup of tea or something. Over here, Greg and Cole. Can we have a quick look at that Reason lineup? We've discussed how good they are at defending because they're just constantly on the attack, making it hard for other teams.
Yeah, so we saw the 3 players there, Burrito B, Rix Rondé and Tigre. Burrito B is the man who likes that Batmobile. Rix Rondé is the one with the fancy white Zombas and white Octane. And they, together, just keep scrambling up the opposition. And it's Tigre who tends to go behind them, ready to pick up the scraps. And that, I think, is just such a new, dynamic playstyle that comes from aggressive players like these guys. They've all come from a history of 2v2s, where they pick up that really fast-paced, constant aggression, chase the ball almost playstyle, and it's working really well for them.
Do you know what makes no sense? Tigre, you're pronouncing it, but it's definitely got to be Tigre.
Tigre.
Surely.
Yeah, go on.
I don't know. Choose it.
Well, no, what would you say, Cole?
We should ask.
I've been saying Tigre recently.
Ooh.
What we haven't done is asked him.
We should ask
Does he get a say
him.
in this, or is it?
Do you know what I'll ask him. I'll introduce him in a second, and then I'll ask him afterwards and apologise if I haven't got it right. Cole, what about this then for that Reason lineup? We'll move on to the Epsilon in a second. But Reason have been playing very well, haven't they?
They've been playing so well. What they do is they soak up pressure better better than anyone else in the Gfinity Elite Series. We saw it a few weeks ago against Excel, where at the time Excel were huge favourites. And Reason soaked up pressure in game 2, I think it was, for about 4 minutes. They just soaked up pressure, made clearances. Made a clearance, it would come back at them, they'd clear it away again. And then finally they broke through and scored themselves with a counter-attack. Then we saw last week, what they're finally starting to do is turn brilliant defence also and actually have some say in attack. When they took Envy, I think it was, apart at times.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, undefeated, you know, pressure's on them to continue that make it 5 games in a row. But now that we've seen Prophecy get that loss, let's look at the Epsilon lineup. Flarky and Data, that marriage has come together finally, because Flarky used to be at Prophecy. And you've got Florus there as well, who I think is excellent. A little mistake earlier on in the day, but beginning to find form as a team.
I think they're really working hard online at the moment, trying to make sure they get that team synergy. I know that Flarky is a big, logical player. He likes to think through how they're going to play. He's been trying to teach Florus the way he wants the team to go. And I think it's starting to come through now. Florus is really working together as a unit. Now, watch out for Florus. Lots of boost starving and lots of solo plays. He likes to take control of the ball, take players out of the game, and by doing that, he just grinds down opposition, opens up the space for Flarky and Data. That's their plan.
Boost starving, it's one of my favourite chocolates at Christmas. Anyway, listen, let's move. No, you're not happy with that.
No.
It's time to welcome the players out. There they are. So for Epsilon, we've got Flarky, Data, and Florus. And for Reason, Rix Ronde, Tigri, and also your main man, Burrito B. Don't let me hang, don't let me hang, don't let me hang. It's embarrassing, don't let me hang. Gentlemen. Okay, now just 1 second. Gentlemen, I'm not going to have a little chat. Tigray, which one is it?
I don't know about that.
You don't even know? Well, what would you prefer? Come on. Tigray. It's official, Tigray. There you go. Now, Reason are ready. Epsilon are ready. We'll have a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll have all the action where Tigray is going to be playing for Reason. Just think about the rotations, transitions, formations. Let's just try and keep it speedy. Long shots, Epsilon. Oh, hi, welcome back. I'm sorry, I was just coaching the lads because, unfortunately, my experts have decided not to go with Epsilon, so I thought I'd have a quick word. Where are they? Gentlemen, Cole, Gregan, you're going with Reason, is that correct?
We're applying logic and reason to our decision because we are with the best 4 people in this competition. Because they have this man. Every time, Duck Moriarty, the man himself, de-tilts one of the most tiltable players here. I'm not going to touch him. Rix Ronde, if you've ever watched this guy stream, he goes off on it. He hates when people do stuff against him that they shouldn't do. Duck Moriarty sorts him out.
Well, you seem to be distracting him, gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. Leave it with you. So they both have gone for Reason. What about Onset and Shogun? What do you reckon? Is this Reason? I mean, I had a team talk with Epsilon. They should be fired up now.
I mean, I'm 100%, as we all know. So I'm going to go with Reason. I think that they're going to be the only team who are undefeated at the end of today. What about you, mate?
Sorry, I can't stop laughing. 100%. He's not got one right today. Listen,
100% right.
Yeah, I'm going for Reason as well. They've just looked like the more solid team up until this point. Not that point. That point was then. This is now.
But a point has been made, so you're going for Reason.
Exactly. A point has been made. Not too sure what it was, however, but we have made it indeed. But Reason are going to make it their point to continue their undefeated streak.
And Epsilon will make it their point to get a point.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll leave it with you then, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Enjoy this matchup.
Thank you very much, buddy. And I think this is going to be an interesting game here. Epsilon, they've been consistent, but for all the wrong reasons so far at the moment.
Yes.
Lost 3-1 every week, but have had so many close series. Do you think it's going to be the same story for them this time, or do you think that there is an opportunity here for Epsilon to maybe chalk up an unexpected win?
It's all going to be about how heavily they can hold on to the offensive rotations. If they can keep the waves going, it's going to be fine for them. Well, here we go. It's going to be getting straight into this game. We're not messing about today. It is, of course, going to be Epsilon versus the guys from Reason.
ready to go. It's Epsilon Esports in the blue versus Reason Gaming, who are in the orange. Favorite color? What's yours, Shogun?
Blue.
Blue. You going with
Always blue.
It's going to be a start here, and a long shot might actually find the back of the net, and it's Epsilon. Defensive errors have been consistent today, and it looks like Reason made one there, and Epsilon a 1-0 up.
Doink control not going to be happening on that one. Instead, just going to be a fantastic redirect from Epsilon. And if we wanted to see a solid start from them, that is the solid start that they needed. Leaving players towards the midfield, giving them more options for clearing the ball away. And that could be an interesting way of going about this. We've already talked, we talked at length about how good Reason are at maintaining offensive pressure. If you can leave yourself options around to pass to, that is going to definitely get away from that, as we saw a great shot from Burrito B. Follow-up, not so great. And now counter-attack for Epsilon.
Ooh, Data might be on the breakaway here. That ball is going to disappear towards the corner, so it's going to give guys some Reason a little bit of time just to get back into position here and get that long clearance in. Flaky's going to be up in the midfield. And this is something that the guys from Epsilon did very well against Method. They did try and play Method at their own game, try and keep that pressure on. Unfortunately, it didn't work out well for them in the end, but their best periods of play were when they were trying to win that ball high up the pitch and just keep that consistent pressure on their opponent's goal.
Well, you're going to see Reason going to have their opportunity now to set up the siege. See just how well they can do that, but it's going to be all about controlling boost. Oh, if you can just take the shot, you take them.
Ronde nearly managed to squeeze that one through, but the save did come in on the line from Data. Flucky going to finally get that one clear, but Burrito B keeps that pressure on now, lays it off to Rix Ronde. The power on that shot almost finds the back of the net, but the crossbar and the post are going to keep that one at bay.
Flores almost out of position. He was too far forward. If the shot was any higher, he would have been beat. He's going to keep that away, and Epsilon can maintain their offensive lead, but unfortunately, they can't maintain the ball out of their own half. Reason are squeezing right now.
Squeezy Reason. Tigray going to be up for this. It's another touch as that one drops back down off the roof. Maybe a breakaway here. He's going to have Flores in front of him, and Flores is going to have some work to do.
You can have as many people in front of him as you want. If you've got no boost, you can just hope for the best when you want to get to that ball.
Tigray going to go up for it, trying to get a touch on that one, but just slightly misread that one. Day is going to be on the breakaway now as see Burrito B get that long clear back upfield. That's going to be the ball transferred back over to Epsilon when just under 3 minutes left in this game. We've already seen one undefeated streak fall today. Epsilon 1-0 up in this game. Long way to go. Are we going to see Reason fall under that same spell?
Could have done right there as well. The bounce was incredibly awkward for Reason, not what they expected at all. Corners can just be very evil at times because it's not a perfect angle on it. It's just two major angles with a straight wall in between it. So if it does catch those major angles, you can be caught out very easily.
Sure, going to be able to get that one clear. Flaky trying to keep the pressure on in midfield here for Epsilon. Shronde tries to take a bit of a wide berth, maybe not deliberately there from that ball. Burrito B trying to put pressure on Rix Ronde. Going to play this one off the backboard, but Flaky is going to get the breakaway here. Is there anyone back here for Reason? There is two players back. Flaky cannot capitalize on that opportunity to put Epsilon into a 2-goal lead and double their advantage in this one. He's going to come back off the ceiling. It's going to be Tigray. He's going to be up now. He's going to get that ball away for Reason. Tries to find that pass inside as well. Sorry, follow up his own ball. Flaky going to get that long clear. 1 minute 45 left on the board. Epsilon have looked pretty solid in defense so far, you have to say.
Yeah, they've got the advantage right now with that singular goal. Reason had one really long siege that they did very well with, but struggled to create any serious opportunities. And right now, they're going to try and put the siege back together. Can they control the boosts?
Tigray's going to be up. He's challenged well, though. Rix Ronde's going to be up as well, trying to force that ball back into the corner, but it's going to be easy pickings defensively here for Epsilon as that ball's just squeezed away. But once again, starting to see a little bit of pressure build from Reason, but that big clearance is going to, once again, relieve a little bit of pressure. Flaky's going to have a little bit of work to do. Flores trying to help Data out. Data had some fantastic performances in that game we saw last week, especially defensively, made some critical saves for his team. But again, Epsilon just haven't been able to close the series out in the way they would have wanted.
Epsilon are out of boost. They're gone.
As you say, Epsilon are out of boost. It's going to be Burrito B who does get that goal on the board for Reason. We are tied up at 1-1.
This is just what happens if it happens for too long, and Reason Gaming maintain a solid rotation. They steal both of the back boosts. They already control the middle, and you just get to a point where Epsilon, who have to aerial to every single save and clear that they want to get, are eventually going to be left with absolutely nothing. And Reason Gaming just squeeze their way, they grind their way back into this match.
Suffocating plays from Reason Gaming. As you say, Shogun, just grinding down that Epsilon defense. making it so difficult, and Rix Ronde couldn't quite find the position there to potentially put Reason into the lead as we're into the last 25 seconds of this game. Ronde playing that one back off the backboard. There is a play there. It's going to be Burrito B, but he doesn't get the read on that one. Does touch it back to a teammate, Tigray here, using that side wall to take it back round. Data does manage to clear it away, but we can see the countdown on screen right now as we enter the last 5 seconds of the game. Can one of these teams steal this game away? Or are we going to see overtime? It looks like we're going into overtime. Game number 1.
Epsilon needed that as well. They were starting to get caught out yet again and being put back into the trap from Reason. It's very difficult after you've spent a long period of the time of the game playing defense to suddenly realize, okay, we are back into a position of needing to score. How do we do that? Teams usually, when going from that position, take a little while or just don't quite figure it out.
Been very, very cagey this game. Tigray looking for that pass inside. It is a beautiful pass. Does find his target, Burrito B, who's looking to just add some pressure in, but Data is going to get the clearance. The demo does come in from Data as well. Data's going to be up here. Beautiful shot from Burrito B. Manages to get the save as Data looks to win game number 1 here for Epsilon. Flarky's going to have the shot as well. Finds the post. Pressure coming in from Epsilon now, and it looks like they've decided to try and win this game right now. They're taking the attack. It's a Reason Gaming.
Yeah, and Reason Gaming, it just seems like they get a little bit confused whenever they get hit by a slow-moving shot. So that opportunity to really think about what you have to do can actually catch you out at times. Flores just escapes the oncoming demo.
This game is on a knife edge. Ball is going to be sent in towards that Epsilon goal, and it's going to be the game won by Burrito B with his second goal of the game. 1 minute and 14 seconds of overtime. The game is decided, and it is going to be Reason Gaming who grind out a result here against Epsilon.
Double commit over in the middle of the field means that Flarky, he has to win the ball in the corner, cannot quite do so. And Reason Gaming, they come back from a single goal down with one of the most disciplined displays I have seen on the Gfinity stage.
And it's Burrito B once again with 2 goals in the game from 3 shots. He's currently sitting in the top 5 for goals and assists this season, so even more good stats to add to the board for him there. But that was the story of Epsilon's season summed up in 1 game there.
Absolutely. I mean, very good start from them, but unfortunately ever since then, Reason Gaming just seemed to know that at some point they would get the opportunity to score. They didn't overcommit, they never sent in 3, and they just didn't get caught out. That was the problem we saw earlier on for Prophecy when they took on Endpoint, and instead they waited for their big opportunity, and eventually they got it.
Yeah, they did a great job of just grinding down Epsilon. Epsilon did everything they could to stay in that game, but what do you think is the difference here for Epsilon? They always take these games right down to the wire. They just cannot eke out those wins. What have they got to change up in this game number 2? Or is it just a case of Reason being that good?
It really is off the kickoff right now. We saw the first goal that happened was within 19 seconds. That was actually before Reason Gaming could set up their rotation to be as strong as it usually is. So instead they got caught out with no players back. Midfield shot does end up going in, but if they can't get something decent off the kickoff and they get pushed into their own half, then Reason Gaming can take advantage of that and continue to rotate as well as they are. And right now for Prophecy, they don't have an answer. They don't have a good way of clearing it.
Game number 2 is underway in the background. No messing about this week. We are straight into the games. And I love it because of that. Reason Gaming, if you're just joining us, of course, did take that first game of the series, eking out that win by just 1 goal in overtime. Flarky with a beautiful pass here, and it's Data who's going to put the first goal on the board for Epsilon. Epsilon come flying out the game. Just 8 in game number 2.
Just take advantage straight from the off, and that is a beautiful passing play there from Flarky. Finding Data in the middle, already 1 challenge from Reason Gaming. It offers you so many choices as a striker to just choose where you want to take the ball.
So Epsilon, exactly what they would have needed. Now, can they turn a good situation in one of these games into a win, as we see Tigray almost tie the game up? The save does come in, however. Now Flarky going to have the opportunity to send this ball outfield just to maybe give Epsilon a little bit of breathing room. That goal within the first 20-odd seconds of the game, which always good for confidence. We'll be seeing Data here going sniffing out, maybe to try and steal some boost. See him now moving across. It's a good contact on that ball, looking for the second touch on it as well. Well defended here by Reason.
Yeah, Reason are going to start setting themselves back up again, but 2 players committed. You have to see what the third does. It's a big challenge from Tigre, and he does win it. This is something we see them doing very often. And you see what it gets them. Immediate challenge. Flarky has to go for the bull rather than boost, but it will be picked up by his teammate instead. But it's just so many options for Reason, and they just realize we don't have to score right now. We can take the long route to this, and it will probably work.
Tigre with 0 boost here. Play the middle. Rix Rondé's trying to get a touch, and can they find that far corner? That would have been quite the finish from that young man there. Once again, we are seeing Reason just trying to grind down this Epsilon team. Tigre sends this one back forward. Data, once again, has to take to the skies to defend this one. Burrito B, back on that backboard, looking for another touch. Uses the backboard once again to try and find a teammate. Rix Rondé brings it down, however. Tigre, little bump comes in on Data as well in the background there, but Data does a good job bringing this ball upfield here for Epsilon. Now Flores trying to take that one over Rix Rondé, but well read by Rix Rondé. Sends it back forward, and now Data, he's going to have a little bit of work to do. We're seeing the ball go from end to end a little bit more now.
And you're seeing Epsilon, they recognize that they're in the same position they were in last game, constantly under attack, but this time around, with that 1-goal lead, they are now challenging everything. They're not allowing the ball to be played around them and trying to react. They are getting challenges as close to the midfield as they possibly can, and it means that Reason can't settle.
Ooh, touch from Tigre here, but here comes Flarky with a shot, and it's going to be 2-0 to Epsilon. You almost called it to the button there, Shogun. Epsilon taking the fight here to Reason. They double their advantage, and it's Flarky who gets that goal on the board.
Yeah, nobody in position for Reason. Everyone turns sideways on the goal line. Someone has to be on the backboard in that scenario. You have to look to yourself, especially if you're the player that's at the very back of that line, just go, am I really needed here? Or can I offer something new, offer a new position to go into? The backboard would have been the best place to go. Or maybe downfield if there was a potential way to pass to you. But don't send everyone into the same spot.
Epsilon find themselves up by 2. Flores is going to make it 3 as well. Another pass inside. And Flores extends the lead here for Epsilon. 3-0. And they're making Reason Gaming bleed this game.
Old story? Nah, this is a new story for Epsilon. Bringing out something new from them. 3 goals to the better of Reason Gaming, and they need to keep this going. Honestly, I want to see them put 5 goals past Reason. Give them the confidence to take this entire series. That could be it.
I was going to say, this is exactly how I see Epsilon winning games, just taking the fight to their opposition, not letting Reason do what Reason do best.
They need to recognize that they are faster than Reason. Reason is better organized, but as individual players, Epsilon are way faster. Although Rix Rondé is going to win the sprint to that ball.
He does win that sprint indeed, and he brings the game within 2 goals here. And with 1 minute 49 left on the clock, there's always an opportunity for Reason to get back into this one. Epsilon, 3-1's their bogey score so far as series scores are concerned. They're up by 3-1 now. Can they close this one out?
That's the sort of play you only go for when you're 3 goals down as well. So risky to try and go behind the player. If you end up being second, you're leaving only 1 person back. But at the end of the day, what's the difference between 3-0 and 4-0? You're still picking up a loss either way. So good for Reason Gaming to suddenly start to bring themselves back in. There's going to be another shot. Data has to get the save.
Data does get the save as well. That 2-goal cushion is so important. See Rix Rondé trying to send that ball towards the middle. It's going to be a goal here. They bring it back to within 1. Burrito B gets on the scoreline. Epsilon are going to feel a little bit nervy as we enter the last 1 minute and 23 seconds.
I said that they needed 4 or 5 goals to look confident going into the next game. They need 4 or 5 goals to stay confident in this game. This is going badly so quickly for Epsilon. Reason Gaming have taken control of the middle of the field, and they have taken control of the momentum in this match.
The momentum is all with Reason right now. They are just 1 goal down, and they have plenty of time to play with as well. Can they tie this game up? Are Epsilon going to see another game slip through their fingers in the Gfinity Elite Series?
The question now becomes, are Reason happy to take risks? They've got a minute to play with, and as you see that get closer and closer to 0, expect Reason to become even more nervy and risky with the way they attack their offense.
Lucky does manage to steal that boost. The demo comes in as well. It's going to be a shot on goal. Tigre does manage to get the save, however. Data trying to keep the pressure on here for Epsilon. Reason Gaming and Tigre manages to steal away. Rix Rondé's going to have an opportunity here. Hits the burrito. Burrito B hits the crossbar. And Tigre's going to try and find the back of the net as well. And it's going to be put into his own net. And it is tied up at 3-3. Epsilon, what is happening?
I am shocked right now. 3-0, 3-3. If Istanbul means anything to you, then you have recognized this situation before, but Reason Gaming are on a tear right now.
Yeah, and this is what champions are made of. Down by 3 goals in the last minute or so. 30 seconds left in the game. They tie the game up at 3-3. And now you just feel that Reason have to win this game. Epsilon, the win must have just been taken out of their sails completely. If they can squeak out a win here,
they're in full recovery mode. Everything they do is in reaction to Reason Gaming right now. There is nothing proactive about this, but Reason have given up the rotation too easily.
Tigray does get the save as Flores is trying to salvage something here from Epsilon. It is now a case of salvaging the game. Epsilon are up by 3 goals, and we're into overtime now. Epsilon, they've got to be feeling
this is
so
must
right
win
now.
for Epsilon. If they lose this, they are not coming back in game 3. This has been their everything match, and to lose it from 3 goals up, you cannot regain that confidence.
Brio B manages to get the block on that ball as well. It's going to be Brio B. Flores had to make an important block on that ball. Now we saw the ball sent back into the middle. Players arriving here for Epsilon, but they cannot convert. Peter's going to keep the pressure on now. Epsilon just need to reset mentally in this game. 30 seconds of overtime gone. No real opportunities so far, apart from that little half chance we saw fall into Epsilon. But it is all Epsilon pressure at the moment. Flacky's trying to keep the pressure on as well. Looking for that pass inside, but Rix Ronde will get this ball away here for Reason.
Epsilon's offense, especially where they're holding their second one, seems to be trying to cover everything, although they can't cover this. Shot not there. You can see in the top right-hand side of your screen, there was actually a demo on Rix Ronde. He was going to be the player that would turn that in.
Flaky brings this one down, but it's immediately challenged here by Burrito B. Flores is going to have some mopping up work to do. Now it's going to be up to Data. Data does get good contact on that ball to send it back upfield, but Tigray wins it again. Flores send it forward.
Siege being set up.
As you say, the siege is being set up, and it's going to be Tigray. The pass not quite landing into his path. We're over a minute and 30 or so seconds into overtime. Epsilon do seem to have settled down ever so slightly, but Reason seem to be controlling the pace of the game.
Epsilon needs to... They're getting stuck with only 200 boosts. They've only got their own 2 side ones to use. Shots like this can come in, but not on target. Reason Gaming are getting shot after shot after shot unless Epsilon can control the 2 middle boosts.
Ball is going to potentially break fever. Rix Ronde does manage to keep it away from any of those prying Epsilon players. Flores sends it into the middle. Tigray manages to do well. Data sends it back into the middle, and Flaky wins the game for Epsilon. 2 minutes into overtime. That is huge for the boys in blue.
The life support is back on. Epsilon need to get the win here. They have got the win, and they hold themselves in this series. Life or death, they choose life.
And that's just a look of relief on the players' faces there. You can tell that they nearly threw that one away totally. 3 goals to the good up, but they do manage to clutch up in overtime. But what a game. Reason Gaming storming back into this one, but Epsilon, as you say, that was a must-win game for them in that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've even got a player on here that will be having flashbacks of really bad situations like that. Flaky, he was a part of that massive collapse against Infuse last season, one of the biggest ones we've ever seen. He was almost a part of another one, but Epsilon, they survive.
They do, and these are the goals from that last game. All of the Epsilon goals we will be showing you. And I mean, I almost feel relieved for Epsilon. I just felt if they lose that one, Shogun, mentally, what does that do to a team and a player? You saw how they reacted to that. There was no happy faces.
No.
It was just pure relief from all 3 players here on Epsilon.
It's incredible, because whenever I talk to someone about Rocket League, they sort of say, oh, 5 minutes. How can you be mentally drained after 5 minutes? Trust me, you are mentally drained after that 5 minutes. That was incredible, but if they took notice of how they were scoring their goals, there is a weakness for Reason Gaming, and they need to cover that one up before Epsilon starts to notice it. All those goals were scored almost off the backboard, apart from that beautiful first one that Data got. Whenever the balls play off the backboard, Reason Gaming seem out of the position. They're not ready to go and challenge.
Well, we're into game number 3. The series is tied up at 1-1. Epsilon managed to just about squeak that game number 2 out in overtime. It's going to be Reason who are leading the charge here. Flores does get the pass out to Data. He's going to follow his own touch-up. And I just feel like, I just feel almost, I didn't want to feel how Epsilon would have felt if they threw that game away. It would have just been devastating. Nobody wanted to see that happen, but they have managed to claw themselves back into the game, and now they can start again at 0-0. Rixronde might have an opportunity to score here, but can't find the back of the net. Reason with the first opportunity of the game here, Shogun.
There's two versions of Epsilon that we see. One that allows themselves to have attack after attack put on them, and one that challenges in the midfield and doesn't allow it at all. I know which one I prefer, but Epsilon, they need to get the boost in order to do it, and they also need to get the mentality to do it.
Such a night and day team here, Epsilon. 1 minute they look like world beaters, the next minute they look like they'll be beaten by anyone in the world. Ball going to be dropping down here in the midfield though. A little bit of calm after that crazy game number 2 that we just saw.
I mean, you can sort of tell how much they're feeling the lack of pressure in comparison to the last one. We're seeing a lot of double commits from everyone on the field. Just seems like everyone's happy to be out of game 2.
Yeah, that definitely shortened some lifespans. That game number 2 certainly did mine. We are going to see Reason trying to do what they do, keep that pressure on, but defended there by Epsilon. Burrito B sends it back forward. Data brings it down towards the corner. Burrito B, let's send this one back inside. Tronde and Flarky having to challenge for that one. You see Data squeeze that one in down the line. It's going to be Data who follows it up here. There's a real opportunity, and it's going to be an open net. Data puts Epsilon into a 1-0 lead. 3 minutes left on the clock.
So we've talked end to end about how good Reason Gaming can be when they want to just hold the midfield. This is what happens when it goes wrong, because you start to trust in your teammates so often to always do the right thing. You're not positioning yourself for the worst. You're positioning yourself for the best thing that can possibly happen. And when the worst does happen, you're not there.
And that is exactly what happened there. Epsilon take a goal advantage. And that's certainly going to settle some nerves that might have been...
I don't know. I need to see like 3 more before I'm comfortable with Epsilon in this game.
Actually, I think everyone needs to see Epsilon go up by...
I need to see either 3 more, or I need to see the clock say 0. And even then, I'm not too confident.
Epsilon definitely an entertaining team, to say the least. We can see Flores here. He's going to have the ball stolen away from him, but a shot does come in, but not going to cause too much damage. Tigray squeeze that one back towards his teammates. Rixronde with the shot. Flores and Flarky going to be there. Now we're seeing Reason do what they do best, keeping that pressure on. Flarky with 0 boost, but does manage to get that clear. Data's going to get it clear, so Epsilon with the chance to reset now, maybe get some boost and formulate an attack of their own. Flores comes flying in. Flarky might have an opportunity here. Does not make contact, however. I'm going to see Rixronde. Ooh, an important touch on the line there. Burrito
No
B.
way!
Oh! B Flores on the line. What a play from Burrito B. Another goal for him, and Reason tie up at once.
Burrito B, you are insane! That was, bar none, the best possible move Burrito B could have gone for, and with the best possible execution. We are all tied up.
Using every single inch of that Batmobile just to send that one.
Oh, that was definitely a Batmobile touch. You can't do that with other cars.
And once again, Epsilon has just got what have we got to do to quieten down this Reason Gaming team? 1 minute 30 left on the clock, though. Reason pulling out some magic to tie this game up at 1-1. Now, can Epsilon manage to keep their composure in this game? They can't, because Rixronde puts in the second goal of the game.
Oh, it's the same problem for Epsilon. Terrible touch there from Data, and Flores just doesn't expect it, out of position, cannot react, and the yay is nothing more than mockery right now of Epsilon's defense. Reason Gaming now 2-1 up, and if it stays like this, they will also be 2-1 up in this series.
They'll find themselves on match point, and Epsilon could potentially find themselves once again on the end of another 3-1 loss, which isn't what they want. And I mean, talking about 3-1s, Reason Gaming go up by 3-1. Epsilon just falling apart in this last 20 seconds or so, but Rixronde gets another goal here.
It's not the writing on the wall.
I mean, I feel for them.
Honestly, it's not the writing on the wall anymore. It's the ball bouncing off it and Epsilon not being able to react. Just every single time they are being caught out in the worst possible positions. They're playing a ball and they're trying to react to stuff that isn't happening.
There's an opportunity there, but Epsilon player in the middle couldn't get the touch on it to Bring it back to within one game. One goal, sorry. That's a G's. I'll get there eventually. Burrito B.
You're a G to me on set.
Thanks, man. Might be an opportunity here for Data. He's got a 1v1 opportunity. He does find the pass inside Flores, but a huge block coming in from Tigray. And you just felt like for Epsilon, they had to take that opportunity. Bring it back to within one goal. Go balls to the wall for the last 30 seconds or so. Try and send this one into overtime, but couldn't take advantage of it. 20 seconds left on the clock. You just feel those 20 seconds are just the life draining out of Epsilon in this game. Reason Gaming look like they're going to be going up 2-1.
All off one. As soon as that incredible Batmobile goal went in, it was all downhill from there. Epsilon just seemed shocked that something like that could possibly come out and catch them. And ever since then, they have been nothing but caught in this series. 2-1 to Reason. And they don't even look shocked anymore. This is a whole new team. The team that was almost the punching bags of the league last season, looking at themselves and going, we're winning, and we expect it.
Yeah, just it's amazing what confidence can do for a team. And 2 goals there for Rix Ronde, Burrito B with another one as well. And we've got the replays coming in from that last game. But you, as you say, you can, in the words of, I think it was Bart Simpson, Lisa Simpson, you can pinpoint the moment where Epsilon's hearts were broken. Epsilon, Ralph Wiggum, there's something there.
Oh, there's something there, but it'd be very harsh. Unfortunately for Epsilon, that they need to give themselves a harsh talking to and just sort out what is happening. If bad touches are leading to bad decisions, that is a huge problem for them. And just, where do you change, honestly?
All right, if you're stood behind these Epsilon boys, you're daisy chained in with them right now with those Astros.
Yes.
You've got 30 seconds to say something inspirational. What do they need to do in this next game? What are you saying to these guys?
I tell them to take their headsets off and actually look at me at the time and then just say, rotate. For the love of God, rotate fully. You know, you're allowing Reason Gaming to get away with what they want to do because you're trying to play the perfect situation every single time. And the perfect situation isn't happening. Pull yourself back a little bit and give yourself extra options to deal with.
Reason Gaming, 1 game away then from completing a 5-0 sweep of the Elite Series so far, and a great start for them. But Shogun, your shoulders fell, your face fell. What's up, buddy?
That one wasn't even down to me being like, wow, Epsilon, what are you doing? That's me looking at Burrito B and going, man, Burrito B, what are you doing? That is his second world-class goal. And if he stays like this week's MVP is pretty much a lock.
He's definitely got a hand on it at the moment. Data's trying to answer back with a goal of his own and almost managed to answer back with a world-class goal of his own, but Reason just manages to keep it out. Everything to do now for Epsilon Esports. Down 2-1 in the series, down by 1 goal. Can they scrape and claw their way back into this series, or is it going to be yet another 3-1 loss? It's going to be Burrito B with another goal here. Reason Gaming coming out the game, gates hot.
Just every time Reason want to challenge in their own defense, they are winning it, leaving only 1 person back for Epsilon who isn't in position to go for an immediate challenge. Instead, they have to go to net. What does that do? It's more space for Reason to play with, and boy, are they playing in it.
Reason Gaming just looking good in this game, number 4. Like the Reason Gaming we've seen in the previous weeks, Data now just trying to get a long shot away. Not the start you need if you were Epsilon. That's just, I've said it previously, but that, I mean, as far as taking the wind out of a team's sail, going down by 2 within the first 40 seconds of the game, when you know that that series is on the line, so huge, and little opportunities like that just don't seem to be falling that way. Data trying to get there, but Burrito B, as you say, already 1 hand on that MVP for this week, and he's gonna end up sending 1 towards Rix Ronde, and it's gonna be 3-0 now. Epsilon.
Rix Ronde's positioning has just been top class all game long. He is never in the wrong spot unless the ball's coming off the backboard, at which point the whole team seems a little bit confused at times, but 3-0. This is the biggest question of Epsilon Esports there has been. Do you want to stay in this tournament? If yes, get yourself some goals, pick yourselves back up. If no, let it continue.
Shake yourselves off. Epsilon, it's all or nothing now. They need to win this game as well. Such an important game for them in the scope of the Elite Series as total. If they win this game, it just gives them an opportunity potentially to scrape into some playoff places, but Reason Gaming just bullying them at the moment in this game. As we approach 3 minutes left on the clock. Xronde.
Just take your time. You gotta do nothing.
Trying to fake out Data. Blocky does get the clear, but Burrito B's going to be up. Sends that one towards goal. The save does come in from Flores, and I mean, Epsilon just got to try and get something going together now. Flores is going to take to the skies, but for all the games that we've seen so far, Shogun, this is just looking the most comfortable for Reason.
Absolutely is. Reason have taken their foot off the gas over the last minute and offering Epsilon some opportunities to come in, but there is a huge bump from Flaky, but it wasn't called. You need to call that it's not in and not allow him to go for it because, yes, the attempt and the idea was good, but it was not the situation.
Two players desperately trying to get contact on that one for Epsilon. They know they have to score soon. They know they have to do something to get through this Reason Gaming defense. And I know you broke it down for the guys at home, how good that defense has been so far in the Elite Series. So being down by 3 is just a massive uphill task for Epsilon. Data trying his level best just to create a break or something here for Epsilon, but Reason are just being so disciplined.
This is the worst style of team to be 3 goals down against. A team that wants to control you anyway. Very difficult to come back from. 1 goal means that at least there's a start.
There's a lifeline here for Epsilon. They do have time to play with still. There is just under 2 minutes left on the clock.
If that hit 130, that was game over. But they have managed to get 156 left. They can definitely play this without trying to panic too much, but they also need to catch Reason out, and Reason did make their own mistakes to allow that goal to happen.
Well, it's a funny thing what a couple of goals can do. We've already seen the reverse happen to Epsilon. Epsilon did manage to win that game in overtime when they were up by 3, but it shows that it can be done. Can Epsilon send this one to a game 5, or are Reason going to continue their unbeaten streak? And I think that might be the final nail in the coffin. It's Tigray who gets on the scoreboard. 4-1 now. Follows up his own touch off the backboard and just sends that one home.
There was a heartbeat on the radar, but unfortunately that was all it was. One single heartbeat, and Reason Gaming come back in, reinstate their 3-goal lead, and now they're just going to try and style.
What's another goal here for Reason? Epsilon Esports. It's going to be another 3-1 in the books, bar a miracle. And once again on the wrong end of it. Reason Gaming though, let's talk a little bit about them as we've got a little bit of time towards the culmination of this game. Do you think that they've got championship material written over them?
This, honestly, down to what I've seen today, I saw something very different. It is a style that I didn't know that they'd be able to play that well, and it is the ability to just control the field. A good team or a great team can make any team they take on look average, and that is what they are doing right now. They could take on pretty much any other squad in the Elite Series right now and make them look the exact same as this because they won't get to play.
1 minute remaining on the clock in this game. Pretty much all you wrote or ever.
Answer to your question was yes, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
5-1 here to Reason Gaming. They are going to close this game out. They're just looking for extra goals right now. Looking for some style points. Looking to entertain the people at home and here at the Gfinity Arena. But Epsilon, I mean, what's gone wrong for them and how do they come back from this? I mean, it's such a heartbreaking loss. Once again, it seems to happen every week. There
seems to be a disconnect right now in the way that the team plays. Every single time they get the ball, it seems like you look at that one player and say, what's he going to do with the ball? Whereas we look at Reason Gaming play, we say, okay, what's Reason going to do with the ball? That is the main difference we see between all of this, of one person is playing for Epsilon, everyone else is reacting to him, whilst Reason Gaming reacts as a whole unit. And that is the main difference right now. Epsilon, this will spell the end of them in the Elite Series, so we're going to be knocking them out as well as Infused, but Reason Gaming, dominant in Week 5.
Dominant, and most importantly, undefeated as we look forward to Week 6. Can they go this? Oh, I'm not going to say that too early. Can they go this season? Can they go this season?
I wouldn't be shocked, but I would be surprised still. It's a lot of games left to play. We've had a lot of times where we've seen teams 6-0 heading into the last week and they sort of just give it up. But for Burrito B and the rest of Reason right now, it's important to keep this going. This is new to these teams, or these players on this team. They're not used to being this dominant. They have to keep it going. They can't afford to go into any game, no matter who it's against, and say, oh, we've definitely got to win. Keep this momentum up.
I think you make a great point there. We have seen teams fall off around this week 5, week 6 period. Few good results here and there, yes, and then just basically falling short of those playoffs. A couple of bad results at this point. It can throw your season off completely. It's up to Reason now. Everything's in their hands. They're unbeaten. It's up to them to see if they can close out the season.
Yeah, I mean, Epsilon were mere spectators at times. They made their own mistakes, but Reason Gaming... Yeah, I mean, it's just not really happening for them. But for Reason Gaming, I really want to focus on the positives here because they are having the role of their lives, and they need to keep this going. It's going to be all about making sure that they analyze each of these matches, even the ones that they win comfortably, and go, okay, what did we do right here, and what did we do wrong? Because as good as their rotations are, there's still some mistakes happening, and I want them to almost get into some scrims and say, we're going to choose more defensive styles of play just to get ourselves used to being in the back, because they are looking uncomfortable at times.
Well, it's time to go up to the undefeated guys of the Elite Series so far. It's Reason Gaming, and they're with Ariel.
I'm just up here with the team that keep on giving Reason. I mean, that was a little bit of a stressful start, no?
Yeah, a little bit.
But you pulled it back. The boys, they're saying you guys are just on a roll at the moment. What's happening? What's the mentality for you guys as a team at the moment?
I just practice a lot and then it will work, basically.
Yeah. You have been practicing loads then in the week, yeah?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. I need to come to you because basically you've had not 1, but 2 goals this season according to Shogun. How does that feel?
Amazing.
You said it was world class. Would you agree with those comments?
I like it.
Yeah, okay. So far, week 5, you're the only team now to be completely undefeated going into week 6. Is that? I imagine that's quite a good feeling, no?
I think feels really good. I think we should be prophecy next week.
Okay, well, we have a poll at the moment on our Twitter, and we're asking which team we think are going to win this series. Now, I have to be honest, you guys are last in that poll, so I think you need to do a bit of a call to your fans out there and say, get on Twitter and vote for these guys, because they might very well win this season. If you want to do that, at Gfinity, #Elite Series. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much. Where are the Reason fans? Get involved with this. Listen, so Reason now the only unbeaten team in Season 2. We will analyse that performance a little later on. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, BT viewers will be joining us for the top of the bill. Method versus Excel. Don't go anywhere.